What is going on, guys? Sid's World here, back with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing Story Time with Sid, a new sort of, I guess, thing I'm going to do on my channel. Can't find the words because I'm stupid. But I thought today, there's a lot of stories I could tell, but honestly, I this is like the first story that ever happened to me that I could, that's worth telling. Like up until this point in my life, nothing really crazy had happened other than maybe like my first day in that apartment complex, which was probably the worst place I've ever lived in my life, which that's a huge other story for another day. But we're just in playground right now. We're just going to be building just to show off my building skills, I guess, and to also not get distracted that much. So we're going to take you back a little bit, and back when I was in, I think it was my first or second year of 7th grade. I got held back, but for different reasons. It's it's a long story. But there's this girl that I had been eyeing. She lived in she lived in the neighborhood across from mine, but it's basically the same thing. But she goes to my school, and she was really cute, and I was like, you know what? I had never asked out a girl, so I decided to, I walked up to her and I was like, hey, and we just started talking, normal stuff. I asked her how school was going, and then I asked her, I was like, and she asked me stuff. I don't really remember everything that I said to her, but just a normal conversation, especially for middle schoolers. It's not really intense, you know what I'm saying? But then I asked her, I'm like, yeah, well, like, you got Facebook? We could talk sometime. And she was like, yeah. And so she had Facebook, obviously, and she gave it to me, and we started talking. And eventually I started talking. I was like, yeah, I like you. I want to date you. And she was like, oh, I like you too. I just don't know. I was like, okay, just give us a little time to think. And then the next day, I'm sitting at the bus stop waiting for the bus. Just I look at her a little bit, try not to get caught or something. And I'm just talking to my friend Denton, and then my friend Nicole comes up to me, and she's like, "I heard you like Natalie," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, I probably shouldn't have used her real name, but it's whatever. She ain't watching this video, so who cares?" But and I was like, "Yeah, I do," and she like pulled me to her, and she was like, oh, Natalie, you guys are dating now or something? And she just said, I don't know if I want to date. And she's like, oh, come on, just say yes, like, and honestly, that probably wasn't the best thing that could have happened, but still, it's whatever. I was a middle schooler. It's middle school shit, so what I'm saying, like, it's not the best, most romantic story ever. It's not like I made some huge effort to ask her out or anything. And, she's like, okay, I like you, you're nice and everything. So, and then, so we started dating, and then she gave me a hug, and then we went to school. Actually, no, I didn't go to school. I was not going to the school at this time, because my doctor, I was having really bad panic attacks. That's why I got held back. That was my first year. Yeah, this is my first year of 7th grade. That's where I got held back, because the doctor was like, yeah, you don't even, my parents were just like, we're not going to even try to get you to go to school, because it's just putting more pressure on everybody. So I stopped going to school, and, so I just went back home and went to talk to my mom. I told her, I was like, yeah, I got a girlfriend now. And then, I went to sleep and then woke up early so I could, go to the bus stop, because up in that point, I would be staying up playing Black Ops 2 with my friends for hours and hours and hours, and because I didn't have to go to school the next day, so I could do whatever I want. And then I would go to bed at like 9 a.m. or yeah, 9 a.m. And after Aiden would go to the bus stop, I'd go with my little brother to the bus stop every time. And yeah, that was pretty much it. So me and her started dating, obviously, and so we're hanging out at my friend Jose's house, which is also my friend, not my friend, my brother's girlfriend at the time. Dating still, but at the time that was his girlfriend's house. and we're just chilling. You know, we're all just hanging out, and we're just standing outside from school. And I went to the bus stop. We're all hanging out, and then she, you know, Nicole asked me, she's like, "Have you ever kissed a girl?" And I was like, "No, I haven't. I'm in middle school, man." And everybody was surprised by that. So then, honestly, to be honest, now that we got pressured into talking to kissing me, we're just, you know, chilling, and then she walks up and she's like, "You guys should kiss." And Natalie's like, "What? We just started dating." And then Nicole, she was like, "Yeah, but he's never had a kiss before." Okay, just that. And she was like, "Oh man, she's like, I didn't know that." She's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I'm like, "I didn't really come up or anything." And then, you know, she decided, you know, she's like, "Okay, let's do it." And then we went, you know, away from these people. And now to mention, this is a very big part of the story, but my friend Jose had dated her once, and you know, I was okay with that. I didn't really care. It's not that big of a deal, because I thought, you know, like that was over with. And then he got jealous, I guess. I don't know what the problem was, but he did not like me dating her. You know, he was either jealous or I don't know what it was, but you know, he just didn't like it. But he had a girlfriend at the time, which didn't really make any sense to me. But you know, it's whatever. I don't really talk about it anymore, just because it's in the past and doesn't really matter. But so you know, she kisses me, and I'm like, holy shit! It just, you know, I just kissed a girl, and I'm all fucking whacked out. You know, I'm being stupid. And he goes, "You kissed her?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he just like, "All right," and he just walked off. And I was like, "Okay," and I guess it's whatever. I didn't really think he was mad at me or anything. And then she was like, "All right, I gotta go home." So I walked her home, and then she kissed me again, and then we, you know, I came back, and we were just sitting outside. It's nighttime. It's like 9 o'clock, so we gotta go home soon. And you know, Jose walks in, and he goes, you know, until you stop dating her, don't talk to me. And I'm like, why? What did I do? And he's like, because you're not supposed to, you shouldn't be dating her. And I was like, why? It doesn't matter. You know, you guys already dated, and you guys broke up. Like, why does it matter? And he doesn't really. He just walks off. And I said, well, I didn't even know you guys dated, so why don't you just shut up? And now he thought that I had called him stupid, which is not what happened. Even if that was what I did, his reaction was horribly, you know, horribly misplanned, I guess is the word. He has really bad anger issues, just so you guys know. And he turns around, and I see his shadow turns around. I was like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have said that. And he runs straight at me. And now I was already scared of this guy, because he was a big dude. You know, he's 18 years old. No, 17 at the time, I think. I don't remember. But, and, you know, he had been in jail, or juvie, I guess is the term. That's 100%, that is the term. But he was in juvie, which, you know, doesn't bother me. But, you know, he was, at that time, I was, you know, kind of like a little white kid, you know, didn't really, you know, not much that happened to me. I lived in the suburbs my entire life. And now, you know, I'm in probably one of the most ghetto places I've ever lived in my life. Like, literally the first day we were there, there was a very big drug problem, I guess. And there was a SWAT team that ended up coming to the apartment complex and storming the upstairs my first day. And then there was also, I think, gunshots, I believe. I don't remember if it was, I can't really say it was gunshots, but it was pretty loud pops. And, you know, it wasn't July. It was January. And so, you know, I'm already, you know, scared as shit. You know, I'm a little bitch at that time. Now I'm not really, you know, that shit doesn't scare me. That shit doesn't even bother me. But, you know, at that time, I was very afraid of him. And he was, and this is another big part of the story, his hands were registered. And if you don't know what that means, is basically the state of Virginia dubbed his fists a deadly weapon, and if he got into any fist fights or anything that ended up getting, you know, like say he was at school and he just punched some kid in the face, he would go to jail instantly, and he had 7 years hanging over his head, 7 years suspended. He ended up spending time for 6 months, I think, or 3 months. I don't remember how long it was, but you know, he was. If you don't know what suspended time means, is basically the judge can give you, you know, 8 years or 10 years or however long he's going to give you, and then he can suspend those years and say, hey, this is how much you have to serve, and then once that time's up, you have these years hanging over your head, so it can make it so, I guess, you know, motivate you to not do what you're doing. And you know, that's a pretty good idea, honestly. So he had 7 years suspended over his head. So anytime if he got into trouble, he was going to go down for 7 years, and also extra time, depending on what it is for. If he was fighting, you know, his hands are considered a deadly weapon, so he's going to go to jail for a very long time. But, you know, that's not really the, you know, point of what he did, you know. I don't really know how to explain it, but he basically, you know, just, he can't get in trouble. He's a very scary guy. At least for me, he was. And so he turns around and books it straight to me, tackles me to the ground, and starts choking me. And he chokes me for about 5 seconds, and then he gets pulled off, and then dips. And I cower into the corner like a little baby. But, you know, it's a pretty scary thing to happen to a 14-year-old, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, no 14-year-old is going to be okay with that. So I just cower into the corner, and then I'm just scared out of my mind as to what the fuck's gonna happen. And I walk home. Well, I don't walk home. My brother takes me home, and we go and just, tell my mom what happened, and she is livid. She goes down the hill and she says, you know, I'm calling the police. And then everyone is just trying to talk her out of it. And then Jose walks up and he apologizes. And I don't think, you know, at this point, apology is not what is gonna make the story right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that isn't gonna really help what happened at all. And I started walking and nobody notices me. I'm behind everybody, and he goes, if I wanted to kill him, I would have done it. And that scared me even more. So I walked back downstairs, and then I come out another hour later, so it's like 10 o'clock, and I just give him, and he gives me a hug, and I'm just like, yeah, he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I really am. He's like, I'll do anything to, you know, make sure there's nothing, you know, she's like, from this day forward, you know, I'm gonna protect you. And, you know, he has been really good on that promise. Anytime I need help, man, like, he's got me. You know, anytime if I needed a job, I could just text him and be like, anybody, fuck yeah, I got it, I got you. You know, he's the homie. A lot of my friends, that, you know, it was a bittersweet thing moving into that apartment complex, because now I have, you know, some of my most greatest friends that a person could ask for. Like, anybody would be lucky to have my friends. Like my friend Denton, he anything I need, man, again, he'll do it, you know. I mean, sometimes we argue, but who doesn't argue? Come on, it's friends, bro. Come on. Yeah. Anytime I need him. Same thing with my friend Dante, you know. Same thing with my friend Alex. If anybody's trying to fuck with me, like trying to fight me, they're on their way, like from Long Island, and they're coming down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met some of my most greatest friends, and honestly, if any of you guys are watching, Denton probably is watching. You know, I'm thankful for you guys. You know, I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that's happened in my life, honestly. I live a pretty good life now. Honestly, that was like probably the worst time in my life. And I'm glad to be rid of it. But at the same time, it was also some of the best times of my life. A lot of, you know, learning about a lot of stuff. And, you know, first time ever seeing marijuana and shit. Like, I mean, no one calls it marijuana, but I'm just saying, it's for the video, you know. I can't be, you know, not family friendly, I guess is the word. But, you know, it was like a bittersweet moving in there, like I said. And, you know, a lot of good things happen, a lot of bad things happen, like just meeting the best friends in my life, but also having to deal with the most violence I've ever seen in my life. It's like, just, after I moved out, there was a shooting fairly early into the day. It was like 9 o'clock, or, no, not 9 o'clock, it was like at least 8 o'clock, right around where when the buses pick people up. And, yeah, in front of the buses, some guy got murdered. And there's also, you know, a lot of other things that happen, like horrible things, and you know, it sucks. But there's a lot of things, like I just said, like a lot of good things happen as well. Like I realized how much I love video games and shit, and that's when I first wanted to start, you know, YouTube and stuff. And you know, finally I'm doing it, and I'm loving it. I love YouTube. I mean, I'm double uploading today just because I missed it. I think I missed a day or two. But that's just because I didn't really feel like uploading, because I didn't really want to play Crucible on Destiny, because recently it's been very sweaty, dude. I swear. Like, I tried to record a video earlier of some Crucible, and it's just so sweaty, man. People are just trying their dicks off. And then I was like, you know what, I'll just go play Fortnite. And then I was like, but there's no real point in me uploading anything that isn't a win, you know? So I was like, you know what, I could do, you know, story time. I got a lot of stories to tell. And I think I'll be doing this every once in a while. I don't know if I'll make it like, oh, every Tuesday, this is when it's coming out. But, you know, thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate every one of you. And I think I'm at 12 subscribers, which, you know, it's whatever. I don't really care about that. I've been trying not to care about viewers and shit. Like on Twitch, I think I want to start streaming on Twitch. It's just, I don't know, man. It gets boring, and then whenever I get bored, I usually just get off the game. And, you know, with streaming, it's kind of weird. You can't just get off midstream. Like, say I have like 10, 15 viewers. You can't just hop off, you know, it doesn't make sense. But, you know, I'm going to try my best, honestly. I want to start streaming again, because streaming is very fun. It's funny. But thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that rectangular subscribe button. I think that's what it is. I don't remember if it's a square or a rectangle. I don't usually like videos. You know what I'm saying, though. Or subscribe button. I'm stupid. Yeah. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoy the video. You know, hit that like button if you enjoy the video. And also, if you guys want me to use any gun in Destiny, or you guys want to see me upload a new video game, you know, like Destiny, or that's not new, but you know what I'm saying, like, you know, something that isn't Destiny, you know, if you want me to play like Rainbow Six Siege or something, I don't know, you know, just tell me in the comment section. I'll try my best. Or if you want me to use any gun that you can really think of, I pretty much have in Destiny 2, so just, you know, shoot me a video idea, and I'll tell you if I have it or not. And then I'll probably try to make a good Crucible video on it like I usually do. But thank you guys for watching the video.